And I think it's
Good.
really important to remember that this too shall pass. If we cut back everything and we choose to go put our head in the sand like the ostrich, we're going to get run over. If instead we know that as a smart business person, we've got to maximize our opportunities, I'm not saying don't cut back. I'm saying spend intelligently. Know where your marketing dollars are. Know that what's happening is effective. Know what your management fees that you're paying are. Know what your people are saying. Inspect what your people are saying. And be aware that once you start inspecting what your people are saying, or you start inspecting the book. Yeah, so for the last 5 years, it's just been really easy, right? And when things are really easy, exactly like Matt was saying, what happens is the bad habits form because you just don't need to be good. Well, right now, when you hear on the floor your salesperson saying something and it sounds horrible, don't kill them. Train them. Have a smile. Hey, come on inside. Let's do this together. Let me show you a better way. You know, leaders lead from the front. We teach side by side. This doesn't work. This makes people quit. When I go to a dealership and I see a lot of this, I know what the turnover looks like. When I go to the dealership and I see a lot of this, I know what the turnover looks like because there isn't turnover, because people grow and they become better. So what I would say is know that this too shall pass and invest in your people yourself. Make sure that if you've lost that touch, bring somebody in, but don't just bring somebody in to teach and then disappear. Re-up your own skills as well so that when it's your turn, you can deliver as well. Be aware that when this thing hits your dealership, because it will, that there are outsourced solutions that are out there for making the phone calls and making sure that you can still sell cars. Because going 2 weeks without a BDC when you run on a BDC is not a possibility. Getting your salespeople to make phone calls when they've never made any, not a possibility.
So yeah, the successful operators that I know in the business right now are sheltering in place inside of their businesses. They're investing equally in their customers and their employees. They're innovating, they're having patience, and above all, they're trying to stay positive. And you know, it's just like, it's when Shean talks about the word tracks and we talk about being specific, right? Like asking a really good open-ended question or a really good either or question, right? Like, was it the style or the price that interested you most? From that, it's real important to you know, make sure that we get good, because I think in this business we've survived, you know, a long time. Like, I mean, I was talking about this yesterday. Since 2012, really, we've been kind of getting by on the low-hanging fruit mentality. And when you say things like, yeah, we're the best, yeah, don't worry about it, you know, in 2014 that worked. But in 2020, under these conditions that we have, you have to get good. So it's like Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, you definitely can see who's been swimming naked.
If we want to have white glove service and we aren't a high-end manufacturer that is already doing something like this prior and it's something that's new to us, there's a couple easy steps. Thing number one, you want to deliver a car to somebody's house, don't send 2 salespeople because you need another salesperson working. Instead, have them take the car to the customer's house, have them take an Uber back. Or if you got to take the car from service, you're going to pick the car up from service. Have the customer take the car or take an Uber to the customer's house. That way you're looking at a $5 charge for most of these things. A lot of these Uber charges in little tiny areas are $5 to $7. You're looking at $14 in round trip if you need it twice. At a lot of stores, they can add that right onto the ticket. Hey, we can deliver the car. We can do 100% of everything remotely. All we got to do is have your permission. It costs us about $15. Guess what happens? They can't wait to avoid the dealership and avoid going out in the open. The second thing about it is we've got smartphones. Our service scheduling platforms have the ability to take and record video now. So we don't have to do any of the upselling from in place. We can grab a cell phone. We can take a video. We can video chat. We can go underneath the car. We can look at the brakes. We can show them anything in the engine. We can show them everything that needs to get done, even if we aren't an advanced dealership that has the upgraded service software that allows you to do it. You got it in the palm of your hand, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Get creative about how to service people. When you have the conversations, realize that people are going to wonder what's going on with their car. Use the texting updates. Text people about their service, about where their car's at the end of the day before you go home, so that they know what to expect. Or in the morning, text them an update before your day gets started saying, hey, this is what I expect to see today. Look for a text from me towards the end of the day saying that your car is ready, or your car is scheduled to go to the shop tomorrow. That 3-second text about updating the car tomorrow means the customer isn't calling you 25 times today to get an update. It also means that they love you still. And then later on, when you go to ask for more work that needs to get done, or you can offer delivery for them. Hey, I could get a delivery to your house. It's going to cost me about $7. What do you think what do you think someone's going to say? Right now, they're going to say yes.
Yeah, one of the first things that all the dealers need to do, and anybody that's going to make that outbound phone call or take that inbound phone call, is to offer up some reassurance and let them know that we are taking this just as seriously as everybody else. They have concerns, they're valid concerns, so we understand how you feel. I think specifically listing the things that the dealership is doing to minimize risk is very, very important. So being able to articulate to somebody, we are wiping down tables, surfaces, door handles, and guardrails every half hour with this specific cleaner regularly, right? We're sanitizing vehicles after every test drive. We're sanitizing keys after every test drive. In fact, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we store the keys in Ziploc baggies so that they're not handled more than they need to be handled. It's really important to give those specifics when you're talking to people, for sure. And then, there's that hope for gain that comes right after that, which is, listen, now is a great time. Management is under a lot of pressure. These are uncertain times. So if there was any time to come get a deal on a car, now is it. And then, definitely be able to be flexible. There's a lot of customers that are going to want to go down their own workflow. And instead of traditionally fighting for that appointment, I think that it's prudent now to be flexible. And, if somebody wants to have the deal worked over the phone, work the deal over the phone. If they would like the vehicle delivered to them, or a presentation even delivered to them, then, be flexible. So I think it's going to call a lot on the management staff at the dealership that traditionally, fought the salespeople to book the appointments before we work numbers. I think that's going to be flipped around a little bit. And people are going to have to be flexible with the customer and go down the route that they want to go down.
Right? We take the incoming phone call. The customer's been looking online for 27 hours at all the different four-wheel drive vehicles, and they've settled on the F-150 at your dealership. And you want to ask them if they're looking for a quad cab or a crew cab when they called on a crew cab black XLT. That's probably going to piss them off a little bit, wouldn't it you? Instead, what I understand completely. What do you like most about that vehicle? Is it the style or the price? That's a beautiful F-150. Is this your first F-150? Have you owned one in the past? By the way, what are you driving right now? It's all about the conversation and the rapport over the phone to make sure that we help them get comfortable with us. We've got to find a way to appreciate what they like, find a way to get them to talk about what they like, because the relationship matters more now than ever before.
That's right.
Imagine that before they would come shop. Imagine that now they're scared to come shop because you represent a disease. And if you don't think that, well, welcome to waking up, right? They don't want to come into the dealership and bring something home and die. I mean, and maybe it sounds rude, but that's exactly what goes through their mind. So we have to prove to them that we're responsible, that we're going to take care of them, and that this isn't just about selling a car. It's about doing the right thing for people that we care about. And if that's the way everything is presented, we will perform better, because you know who's gone? All those people that were calling you that didn't care and weren't serious buyers, they're not shopping right now. They're shopping at Target in the 3-hour line for the 2 cartons of eggs that they get. The people that are calling you for a car are serious. So my advice is, let them be serious. Don't screw it up. So let's think about being sanitary, right? if someone is starting to get educated, they understand that the biggest reason somebody wears a mask is so that they don't spread germs, actually. That's why you wear the mask. It isn't so that you don't bring them in, it's so you don't spread them. So if I'm going to deliver a car to the customer's house, I'm going to put the person in a mask. I'm going to put the person in gloves. I'm going to make sure that they know that we've got an entire box of gloves and that we change gloves between every single car that we touch to make sure that we aren't touching anybody's car twice with the second set of gloves. We're wearing a mask so that we're not breathing on anything. We're doing what we need to do on our side to make sure that we aren't spreading germs onto their vehicle. We have a sanitized vehicle when it's delivered, making sure that it's 100% clean and detailed up front so that it's delivered the right way. It doesn't sound like a lot. You know, you give somebody a mask coming up to your front door last year, that person was there to rob you. You have somebody coming up to your door with a mask on today, that person is coming there to protect you. It's funny how that goes, right? Like, use a mask, use gloves, buy a box of latex gloves. They're cheap. We can throw them away between uses. And what it really does is it makes people feel comfortable, and it's socially responsible.